Welcome to my 26-week update. I know last week's update was a little non-traditional, but I thought it might be fun for you guys to see me, doing something other than sitting in this room. And I was bored and I had a 2-hour drive, so I figured, why not? So anyways, you saw last week I had my OB appointment for the month, and everything went pretty well except for the fact that I failed my 1-hour glucose test. So yeah, I had a 151 and their cutoff number is 140. So I definitely had a score that was a little bit higher than what they would like to see. And I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't think I ate anything too terribly sugary the day before the test, but the morning of the test, before I left for my car ride, I did have sugar in my tea, just about maybe a teaspoon and a half. And so even though I had 3 hours basically between then and the test, maybe for some reason it just didn't get out of my system completely. And so maybe that contributed to my high glucose number. I'm not really sure. So they've scheduled me a 3-hour glucose exam, which is gonna be super fun. They have to do it within a week, she said, of when you fail the first test. So I will be going back in just a couple days to have that retest done. And basically they'll have me drink twice as much of the glucose solution that I drank this week. They'll test my blood by drawing blood before I take the glucose, and then they will test it once every 3 hours to see how my body processes it during that time period. And so we'll see if I fail, as in my glucose numbers are higher than what they would like every hour, then I will probably be diagnosed with gestational diabetes, and they will set up an appointment with a nutritionist for me to see how I can manage it throughout the rest of my pregnancy. So that's the status of that. What can you do? I'm gonna try not to eat that much sugar this week, and hopefully everything will turn out okay. I did some research, and gestational diabetes is fairly manageable and does not tend to have that much of a negative effect on the baby if you take care of it. So side effects could be you can have a large for gestational age baby, meaning I could have a super large baby, and sometimes babies of gestational diabetes, moms have a higher risk of diabetes and obesity when they get older. So definitely things I'd like to avoid. So I'm hoping that next week we will find out that I'm all in the clear. Besides that, everything seemed pretty good at my appointment. I weigh 122 pounds now, so that is officially 15 pounds of weight gain since the beginning of my pregnancy, which is completely fine. I'm not concerned about that either way. I feel like that's a decent amount of weight to have gained at 26 weeks, so good for me. I have still been having some swelling in my legs, but my doctor said not to worry about it too much. If I feel like I am on them too much throughout the day, and with the heat and everything, I'd like a little bit of extra support, she said I could get some compression socks. So I'm thinking about getting those for just the next 2 weeks of work, and then for my vacation afterwards, because I'm flying and I'm taking a 2-day road trip. And of course, being sedentary for that long and being in the car driving for 24 hours as my drive is not good for your circulation, and it can put you at risk for blood clots. And I definitely want to avoid that. So I'll be getting some compression socks for my road trip and the flight back afterwards. So what else has been going on this week? I have been Braxton Hicksing like mad. I've had just tons of Braxton Hicks contractions every day. I don't know, because this is my first pregnancy. Let me know if you ladies have experienced the same thing, if this is like really common that this is something that you're going to be having every single day for the rest of your pregnancy, but I know for me, I am. So I'm guessing that's a good thing because my uterus is practicing really, like, for serious. It really wants to be ready for this birth. So more power to you, uterus, do your stuff. And I think a lot of it is because I just at work when I'm bending down and doing all this sort of more physical stuff, it's causing my ab muscles to contract, and that's causing those contractions to kick in. So that's been okay, and they're very like all over the place. You know, I don't get them over my whole belly. I'll get them a lot on my right side of my belly or my lower belly. So I don't know, that's kind of just how that goes. And my belly has been kind of just more lopsided recently, and I think, oh, quiet. Sorry, Lucy's getting very excited about something. My belly's been really lopsided, which is funny. And I think that's just because the baby's getting bigger and he has been moving around and sort of, you know, I don't know, I guess depending on where his body is, it's kind of like, you know, this side sticking up. And so that's been just kind of funny. I'll just be like, whoa, what are you doing right now? But yeah, that's just been funny. And my husband's been like, looked at me a couple times and been like, is it supposed to look like that? So I'm sure that's totally normal and I'm not too worried about it. The big thing that happened this week was that my husband felt the baby kick for the first time. We were laying in bed, just about to go to sleep, and he put his hand over my stomach, and I was sitting there, and the baby kicks a lot when I lay down to go to sleep. That's pretty much like just every night. So yeah, that I had just laid down, and he had his hand on my belly, and the baby gave him a big old kick, and he was like, oh, I felt that. And I was like, oh my god, you felt the baby. Oh, that's so great. And so he was just kind of like, oh wow, that was weird. Because I don't know, I think he thought that it might be like freaky to feel the baby moving. I think it still freaks him out a little bit. So he wasn't quite prepared for it, but he was cool with it. He was just like, well, that's crazy. And then like a day or two later, we were getting ready for bed again, and he put his head on my stomach, and the baby literally kicked him in the head. Yeah. He was like... So he was like, whoa, hey there, what are you doing? So I don't know, the baby maybe didn't like him encroaching on his territory, and he was like, get off me, Dad, get off. And my husband thought that was hilarious. So that was just kind of funny. So yeah, now the baby's big enough where his kicks are being felt by the outside world. So that was fun, and I'm glad that my husband, oh hi Slide, has finally experienced that, because it's weird just having this like experience all to yourself. And you know, I can't even explain to him what it feels like to have the baby kick from the inside. So it is kind of neat to have him sort of feel from the outside what's going on in there. Just how much movement is going on too, because I think that would like really shock anyone who hasn't been pregnant before, especially guys, to know how much you feel the baby move, and like just the different types of movements you feel, and how sometimes it's kind of weird and you're just like, what is happening in there? So yeah, I don't know, that was the big news this week. And so next week I will be going back to my doctor for the 3-hour glucose test, and I got a phone call from my doula the other day, and she seems really nice. I haven't met her yet, and so she wanted to see if we could get together to talk about my ideas for my birth plan and sort of just go over a little bit of what she does and how she works through the hospital that I'm giving birth at, and sort of what type of tools she'll have at her disposal, and sort of her outlook on supporting me during the birth. And so I'm really excited, and I'm hoping I can meet up with her sometime within the next couple weeks before I go on vacation. So that has been week 26. I feel like my belly's getting a bit bigger, like noticeably bigger at this point. So I'm starting to feel not super pregnant, but I'm definitely starting to feel it to the point where like every time I have to get up to pee in the middle of the night, I'm just like, oh, I've got to push myself up and it's going to cause a Braxton Hicks contraction. And I'm just like, ah, just a little bit tiring. But otherwise than that, I feel like I'm moving around really well and the belly really doesn't get in my way too much. It's just when I'm bending over and trying to do certain things, I'm just like, oh, damn, this belly's getting big. It's impeding my movement. But otherwise, it's totally cool and everything is copacetic and great. And I just have been, you know, in a good mood this week. And I'm excited for the end of work and for my vacation because I need a vacay. And these girls need a vacay. They're coming with us. And so, yeah. We will be back next week when I will let you guys know how my glucose test went and how week 27 of my pregnancy is going. So thank you so much for listening. Make sure you comment and like, subscribe. Did any of you guys fail your glucose test? Did any of you end up with gestational diabetes? I'd like to know how that went for all of you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Thanks so much, and I'm sorry you didn't get to see an under the clothes belly shot this week, but I am wearing a dress, so I felt like that might be a tad bit inappropriate. All right, so we'll catch you next time. Take care, guys. Take care, babies. Love you. Bye.